It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jags and the Silver and Black. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
Opened in 2020 and immediately one of the main attractions here on the Las Vegas Strip. Welcome everyone to Allegiant Stadium. Welcome to another entertaining matchup, folks. Kate Scott, Brock Ewart on the call in this one. Brock, a couple of running backs down on the field who can really take over their offenses when they get in the groove.
And I think that's going to be the ultimate goal of both of these offenses, right? I mean, there's just no confusion about it. They want to get their bell cow in that groove and get them going. Find that rhythm where they're ripping off chunk yardage, run after run, and then just keep on feeding that beast. In a game like this, whichever offense can get that rhythm and run game going first is likely going to be your winner.
Daniel Carlson ready to get us started. And away we go at Allegiant Stadium. Here's Parker Washington with the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out to former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. A national champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great and you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
16 yards on the play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Can't connect over the middle. It's incomplete.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. They'll give this up the middle to ETN. And this is a nice gain that stopped at the 47. A solid 8-yard gain there, and now they're going to have 3rd and 2.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Here he is to throw on 3rd and 2. Complete beyond the marker. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's a Jaguar first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
First and 10 from the 41. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be second down.
I can promise you, that's not what it looked like on the practice field, nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
ETN gets it on the draw. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
Offense sure is marching to begin this game. Here's a first down from the 30. ETN again. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. They get an even 10 on that play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Lawrence. And he drives this forward to the 6. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
His drive has been excellent. A few shots now, it's starting with 6 as they come up on it, 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Lawrence. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established and into top gear right here early on.
Cam Little to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jaguars will jump out to a 7-0 lead. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. That's going to be taken in at the 8. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. So here come the Raiders now for their opening drive. And it'll be their rookie QB who brings them out.
Simply put, there's not a throw on the field he's not capable of making. His arm can reach every blade of grass, which as a defender is an absolute pain to have to worry about down in and down out. And as an offense, it energizes you for the possibility of a big play at any time.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it from the gun. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They give it to him again. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in a locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
3rd and long for him here. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. Starts his return from the 23. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And it'll be Jaguars football. Second drive coming up for the Jacksonville offense. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Up a touchdown early and with the home crowd a little quieter than normal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them, right? Turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, you start to murmur and might even hear a few boo birds.
They get 13 on the pickup. And that's a Jaguar first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Here's Etienne on first down. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Evan White hauls him down. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9. Lawrence working from the gun. Able to find Strange here. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. So before they get the snap away, we reach the end of the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We'll return to Allegiant Stadium right after this. Back for the second quarter, it's Jaguar football. They'll start out with third and maybe a couple inches at most. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. They go right back to Etienne. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Short pass brought in. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out. Here's Lawrence to throw. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Lawrence. He's got it near the 10. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll run Etienne. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
That offensive line and that O-line coach got to look at those pictures and figure something out. Because you cannot let a defensive tackle defeat your block at the point of attack, or you're going to get a negative run time after time.
The loss sets him up at the 9-yard line. It's 2nd and goal. One more time with ETN. And he drives forward for a little, maybe to the 7. Just a couple on that play. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
Lawrence on 3rd and goal. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, that's an example right there where you just simply got to be on the same page with each other and get both ends of the play right to execute. They want that one back.
Cam Little getting the call on 4th down here to put 3 up for the Jaguars. A very short kick here from the right hash. The kick by Shudak is good. And that one was beautifully struck. It goes right down the middle.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Here's a return from the 7. Finds some space. He's past the 30. His return reaches that 34-yard line before he's stopped. 2nd drive coming up for the Las Vegas offense. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Airing it out to start this drive. He takes it himself.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Former #1 pick, Trayvon Walker on the stop.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
So it's the 2-minute warning here from Allegiant. The Raiders driving. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Here's a throw. And that one's too far in front of him, so now they're facing 4th down.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
A.J. Cole on to punt. And he'll try to have his 2nd punt top his 1st one. That hits at the 9, but nobody around to grab it. It carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars send running back Travis Etienne trotting back out to the field. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They bring Thomas in motion. 1st down throw, Lawrence. No one open, so he chucks this to another county.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Couldn't connect on 1st, it's 2nd down. Now Lawrence. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he'll get it up to the 27.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, give your quarterback a chance.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Lawrence to throw it. The screen pass falls incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, and that'll bring up 4th and 3.
You know, these 3rd and short situations, you rep them all the time. Snap after snap, rep after rep. You're expecting man-to-man coverage in that down and distance, and you're expecting to execute. That time on 3rd and short, they can't get the job done.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. So no return on that punt. And it'll be Raider football. Out comes Las Vegas on offense. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Airing it out to start this drive. That's taken in nicely by Brock Bowers. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. 1st and 10, looking to throw. This ball's cut by Bowers. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Raiders moving quickly, trying to get set as the clock continues to run. That one's complete, right side. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They've got 1st down from the 31. They are throwing it again. Complete out to the right. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And he has the catch, gets both feet in, that's a touchdown! The Raiders make it a 1-score game before halftime. Brock Bowers, the touchdown! Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route, just like a receiver.
Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. Well, this right here is where having all those camera angles comes into play. We're going to get a much clearer picture thanks to all the shots we've got.
Yep, technology, everybody's friend right now. We get to watch it again and again, unlike these officials who got to see it once in real time. We just have to see, is there clear enough evidence to overturn the call that was made down there on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
No change to the call on the field, so that play's going to remain a touchdown. Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders cut it to a field goal game. Ball is set up, and it's away. Just a three-point game now. Washington now to return. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. The Jaguars going on offense one final time in the opening half. Holding just a field goal lead, probably going to see them play it close to the vest in the time we've got remaining. It's 1st and 10 for their final drive of the half. We've got 23 seconds remaining. Lawrence throwing here. He completes it in traffic. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. One play in, and already they're close to midfield. On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. That pass caught by Strange. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. A timeout taken by Jacksonville. It's second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Second and 3 now. Some movement there before the snap. Right side of the line. This is going to back them up.
Ball start. Offense.
One of the most common penalties in the sport. And the reaction, it's the same every time, Brock. Frustration from the coach as they get backed up 5 yards.
Still second down.
All right, here we go. Second down. Looking to throw. Lawrence. Got a man. It's Thomas. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Cam Little now to try the Jags field goal. It's 45 yards he'll try to connect from. The kick by Shudak is good. And that'll double their lead to 6.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30.
Still no pressure, and God I breathe. Cause I speak is what they need, I tell no lies. I'm still up top, and still can't drop what they not. Yeah.
Here comes the final play of our first half. A final throw before the break. He's trying to push the field. This is caught inside the 15. So it's halftime, and the visiting Jaguars have played themselves to a nice little lead thus far. As we send things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. Both these teams making their way out of the tunnel, and we're ready for the second half. And for the call, we send it back to Kate Scott and the other blonde bomber, Brock Hewitt.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. He fields it from the 8. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Out come the Raiders. They'll have it first to begin the third quarter. That passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be fiery to start this second half too as they chase this lead. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Plowing up the middle. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Former #1 pick, Trayvon Walker on the stop.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 31. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
This is a time where you get in that huddle and you just look at one another and say, hey, let's get back in rhythm. Get back in rhythm. Get something good to feel good about. Sure, you'd love to get the 1st down, but more than anything, just find a positive play after a huge sack.
And it's a nickel set from the Jags on this 3rd down. Throwing from the gun here. He puts some air under this one. Deep. Big gain downfield. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Well, 3rd and 15, you don't see many of those picked up, partner, but they found a way.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Down inside the 40 now with a 1st down following that last play. Back to throw now. Complete here to Bowers. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that game. Darnell Savage brings that to an end.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Josh Hines-Allen, that time to haul him down. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go. He's going to throw this one. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And that'll bring up 4th down.
You know, ball skills are not just a selling point for receivers entering the draft. Teams want defenders, especially in this day and age of the passing game, who can make plays on the ball too, especially on these deeper throws. He doesn't swat that one away. We could be looking at a huge game.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that cuts the lead in half, down to 3.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Washington now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Now the Jaguars getting set to go. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Devin White hauls him down. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule. That kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
On 2nd down, it's ETN. Breaks the tackle, still going. Give him 5 yards to bring up a manageable 3rd and 1.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a groove, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
ETN on 3rd down. Has the 1st and more past midfield. And he's finally stopped across midfield at the 47. That's 16 on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Out of the gun, a give to ETN. Who swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Brought down by Christian Wilkins. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
I've talked to running backs over the years, Kate, the transition from the college game to the pro game. They'll tell you, there's just times in the NFL you got to run into darkness. You run into a lot of bodies. Perfect example of that on the 1st down play.
From the gun, ETN gets it. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. It's a gain of 6, and they only need half of that now on 3rd and 3.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
3rd down, Lawrence to throw. He'll get this to ETN. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
First and 10, it's Lawrence. That's Thomas, he's got it. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Elandon Roberts coming over for the hit.
You know what I love to say, you never go broke taking a profit. And you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
They'll try it left with ETN. And he doesn't get this one very far, down to only about the 18. Just 2 yards there on the carry. They're going to need another 2 now on 3rd down. So we're through 3 here. It's Jaguars football with a slight lead. Just got to hang on to it for one final quarter. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Complete beyond the marker. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars make it a 9-point advantage. should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here, but his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his second touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game?
Yep.
Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. On is Little for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jaguars make it a 10-point ball game. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Fielded at the 7. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 36. That one's on the mark. Jacoby Myers. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Pass play on 1st and 10. Caught. Trey Tucker makes the play. And they make the tackle at the 38. 16 yards on the play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Throwing it again here. Short pass brought in. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
Working inside the red zone. This ball's cut by Bowers. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he runs this down to around the 12-yard line. Call it 4 yards, and they're set up with a manageable 3rd and 2.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. And that throw doesn't lead to 6. And that leaves them with a decision to make on 4th and short.
You know, that is so hard to do. That's called body control. Great positioning to swat the ball away, not go through the receiver, no penalty flag. He's got the body control and, more importantly, the timing to knock that ball away. His make there, they had to have that one. And it really does set up a judgment call down on the field. This is where special teams coach and head coach are talking about game management. Got 3 timeouts left, so you really can write either script you want. Onside kick or send it deep.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Starting from the 5. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence set to take over on offense once again. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Lawrence working from the gun. He'll get this one to Brown. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. He gets 6 on that play, and that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Short side option here. He's running left. And it's barely anything on that run, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll give this up the middle to Etienne. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. So quickly, the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. And it's a nickel look by the Raiders. 3rd down coming up. Back to throw it. He has the first over the middle. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Here's Etienne on the give. And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry. Now the Raiders using the last of their timeouts as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Etienne again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Call it 1 yard there. So consecutive 1-yard runs brings up 3rd and 8. Setting up to pass. Finds him over the middle. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's a Jaguar first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So the Jaguars, the visitors in this one, but they take home the win. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And Kate, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game. It's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports.